Welcome to another edition of the CEO's blog. John, thanks for joining. We had another good weekend of harness racing action here in New South Wales. We had the Alabar Breeders' Challenge Blue Finals at Tabcorp Park, Menangle on Saturday night.
And aren't these a very good initiative, both by Harness Racing New South Wales and Alabar, of course, for supporting it. But this is about the horses that are actually bred within the state. Yes, there's $50,000 finals, Group 2, but it covers a good range of horses, a nice collection of owners and trainers, and there were some really good results there.
Yeah, there certainly was. Bernie Hewitt, he trained a double with Our Little Digger and Taylor's Reason.
Both great stories. Our Little Digger with Mary Clayton. Of course, the horse carried Saddlecloth 10, as did Taylor's Reason Saddlecloth 10. So both the three-year-old finals carried that number. But for the Claytons, John, who has passed away, Mary's husband, his football number, he played for St Pat's at Bathurst, was number 10. So they thought they had a little bit of divine intervention there, or help as it was. But and for Taylor's Reason, of course, it's for a reason, a colonial stallion standing at Yeerabee, and certainly the way forward for breeding in New South Wales.
And there's some other good stories behind the other two winners as well, John. She's a Sporty. She, for David Kennedy, she was a cheap buy, and also Lucky Unlucky.
Well, Lucky Unlucky, what's great to see that some of these New South Wales bred horses are purchased and they go interstate, but they come back for these rich finals, and John McCarthy took up the reins there for the Rasmussens, and with the other horse, David Kennedy's little filly, purchased the Bathurst yearling sale, so $4,000. So for $4,000 into a $50,000 final, that works very well for me, and I'm sure it works for you, and it certainly did for David Kennedy.
Yeah, well, she's I think she's only had 10 starts now and has already won over $40,000. So great results, and hopefully there'll be a few more owners at the end of this month at the regional Breeders' Challenge finals that will experience the same results.
Well, yes, the same results. How the Breeders' Challenge, the Alabar Breeders' Challenge is set up, we have those big finals, and the spoils are taken and the riches are gone, but we basically move these down so that at the end of the day, the regional finals, everybody gets a share, and some of the bigger winners can't compete in these races. But what is very important, there will be semi-finals if sufficient nominations are received for the 3- and 4-year-olds, and the nominations close this Friday. That's for the Sunday, the 30th meeting, but they will close this Friday. So I urge trainers to be on the ball and meet that nomination deadline.
Yeah, important to jot that one down. Okay, let's talk about here at Harness Racing New South Wales, there's been a new appointment with the appointment of a youth development officer. Yes,
Barry McColl, and for the people in the Riverina who know of Barry, and for the rest of the state actually, Barry's been an owner and an enthusiast for all his life. He's just retired from the school teaching ranks, very esteemed teacher in all areas, particularly in sport and the development of the children's sporting regimes. He will become the youth development officer, and he has some great ideas to take us forward. Great ideas for the mini trot fraternity. Great ideas for the young licensees, working with the academies of sport already. And Barry, he's on board, and he'll be at the industry conference at the end of the month for the clubs to get to know Barry.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that, John. Before those regional Breeders' Challenge finals at Bathurst, there is the Track Seminar and Industry Conference on July 28 and 29, which is the Friday and Saturday prior to that big race meeting. Let's talk a bit about that. What are some of the topics that clubs and associations will be looking into? I know one of them off the top of my head is marketing.
Yeah, well, marketing is important, and let me just say that the Track Seminar is very important. The track curator at every single track in New South Wales, the club should be sending their track curator along. We do this every couple of years. It's a great refresher. So any club that hasn't lined up their track curator to be at Bathurst, they should do so. But with the conference, yes, it's a 2-day event, and marketing leads off the conference on the Friday morning. And as many of the clubs would know, and the industry may know as well, we've been on a path with marketing agency Isobar to find out where we're going to have some brand strategy going forward. We will be able to deliver at the conference quite a bit of that research. So that's an interesting component.
Okay, another component, minimum requirements on track.
Well, this is really important for the clubs. We've been advising clubs over the last couple of years that they need to bring their tracks up to scratch with minimum standards. We've currently undertaken an audit of all the tracks by an independent auditor, so that will come into play. And of course, we've got money that came through Tracks Parity that relieves some of the pressure, the financial pressures on clubs. But bringing tracks up to minimum standards is very, very important, both for the longevity of the industry, the safety of the industry, and the longevity of the clubs, because we cannot have activities on tracks which aren't compliant.
Another couple of things, corporate governance as well as the strategic initiatives for Harness Racing New South Wales from 2018 to 2020.
Well, corporate governance, of course, is paramount to any organisation, and we've just got to make sure that clubs are working with a proper constitution. They're registered with ASIC or with Fair Trading in New South Wales. So they're the sort of things that we'll cover there. But the strategic initiatives, it'll be an outline of where we think we need to be in 2018 to 2020. It's a legislative requirement that we deliver that to the government, and we'll just be mentioning what those initiatives are. We will produce the strategic plan towards the end of the year. So it's just a little bit of an insight which will help us and help the industry know where we're headed going forward into the next few years.
And it's nice to see the New South Wales Racing Minister Paul Toole will also be there.
Yeah, Paul will close the conference. It just demonstrates how interested the government is with harness racing, and Paul Toole, of course, he was one of the driving forces behind the development of the Bathurst, beautiful Bathurst track, and it's great. He's the local member there. He is our racing minister. He is the Minister for Crown Lands as well. So having someone like Paul Toole on side with harness racing and the other two codes of racing is really, really a benefit right round.
Great stuff. Okay, John, well, is there anything else you wanted to talk about this week?
No, that'll do me until next week, Amanda.
Right. We'll catch up then.
Thank you. My pleasure.